One of the most fascinating but least discussed aspects of Watch Dogs 1 is the ctOS tower network and its hidden role in environmental storytelling outside of Chicago, particularly in smaller, semi-abandoned areas like Pawnee and the outskirts near bridges, highways, and rural roads. Most players think of ctOS towers as simple mission objectives or fast travel points, but when you examine their design, placement, and hidden data points, they reveal a deeper narrative about surveillance, control, and the gradual spread of Blume's network before it ever overtakes a major city. The towers themselves are physically imposing, often perched on rooftops or isolated structures with a design language that communicates both authority and decay. Some are in pristine urban areas, but others are clearly old and poorly maintained, with rusted metal, flickering lights, and occasional graffiti warning of the machines. That contrast is intentional. Ubisoft didn't just scatter towers randomly. Each one tells a story about how Blume expanded its reach, testing infrastructure in small, semi-forgotten communities before deploying citywide surveillance. In rural areas, these towers behave differently. Many of them have corrupted or glitched camera feeds, showing empty streets, abandoned buildings, or suspicious NPC behavior. If you take control of the cameras, you start noticing that some of the NPCs near these outposts act strangely. They pause mid-walk, glance repeatedly at the tower, or talk about machines watching us. This isn't scripted dialogue for major story missions. It's ambient storytelling that reinforces the idea that Blume's surveillance has social consequences, even in areas they consider low priority. It's also why hacking these towers feels different from the Chicago network. The rural and semi-abandoned towers are older and less refined, often showing corrupted data nodes or scrambled logs. This suggests that the company was experimenting with predictive analytics and behavior tracking in isolated regions before scaling the system. In other words, every tower is part of a testbed. Some are fully functional, some are buggy prototypes, and some are effectively abandoned. But all are connected to the narrative that Blume didn't just create ctOS overnight. They built it in stages, learning from small populations before taking over a city. The design of ctOS towers also subtly manipulates player behavior. Many towers are located on rooftops that require environmental navigation, jumping across scaffolding, climbing ladders, or finding alternate paths to access a hack point. These platforming elements aren't just gameplay challenges, they're a visual metaphor. Climbing a tower puts you physically above the world, mirroring how ctOS monitors every angle of the city and its outskirts. The sense of verticality reinforces the psychological impact of surveillance. Once you're on top, you're in a position of control, but the corrupted data and glitches remind you that the system itself is imperfect, experimental, and occasionally hostile. This mirrors the broader theme of Watch Dogs 1. Technology that claims to be neutral or beneficial is actually biased, flawed, and capable of harm. Another layer of storytelling comes from the hidden audio and data clusters found around certain towers. Some contain fragmented radio chatter, references to Blume employees testing the network, and even personal notes about local residents. In Pawnee and other outlying areas, these files suggest that the towers weren't just monitoring public crime, they were cataloging psychological patterns, social interactions, and small-scale reactions to stress and misinformation. This aligns with what we see at the Pawnee ctOS substation. These towers are part of a broader experimental framework. They are nodes in a network that learns not only from the city's inhabitants, but also from the isolated communities where human behavior is less predictable and more vulnerable. Even the aesthetic placement of towers contributes to the storytelling. Many are situated near abandoned factories, crumbling bridges, or desolate highways. Their physical isolation reinforces the narrative of surveillance creeping into every corner of society, even places that seem forgotten. And in some cases, the towers themselves have glitches that produce hallucination-like visual effects on nearby NPCs, suggesting that exposure to the system, even in its early form, can subtly distort perception.